Happens with Jerry.
White flag raised. And that off over 3 miles in the day's first grade one, the Channor Real Estate Group Novice Hurdle. Back Me or Sack Me just leads. Stellar Story on the run to the first, followed by Lecky Watson on the inside of Better Days Ahead. Dancing City to the outside of High Class Hero. Settled in the back marker is Tote Exacta. Flight number 2, Back Me or Sack Me, and Stellar Story, little between them. Followed to the third flight by Lecky Watson. After the hooded Lecky Watson is Better Days Ahead, and then High Class Hero with the final couple, Dancing City and Tote Exacta. Flight number 3, the end of the back straight. And it is Stellar Story, just landing in front from Back Me or Sack Me. Followed out of the far side by Lecky Watson, who's yet to relax, and then Better Days Ahead on the inside, High Class Hero, and then Dancing City, bidding to win his third grade one of the season. It's one from last, and finally Tote Exacta. Heading for the flight along the side of the track, number 4, Stellar Story leads marginally. Back Me or Sack Me, Lecky Watson third. Better Days Ahead on the outside of High Class Hero, and then Dancing City and Tote Exacta as they rise of this flight. Better jump came from Stellar Story as they turn into the straight the first time. A little more than 2 miles to go from here. Stellar Story outstayed them on the Albert Bartlett, turns in 3 parts of a length to a length up on Back Me or Sack Me and Lecky Watson, who's now up to dispute the second spot. Still full of the joys. And then Better Days Ahead, High Class Hero, Dancing City, the check colours. Back marker is Tote Exacta. Heading for the flight in the straight and the last one next time. This grade 1 Novice for stairs. And it is Stellar Story and Jack Kennedy from Lecky Watson, Danny Mullins. Back Me or Sack Me has moved to the centre and done a miler. Then Better Days Ahead, Danny Gilligan. High Class Hero, Sean O'Keefe, with the final couple, Dancing City, Paul Townend, Tote Exacta and Brian Hayes. Finishing next time. Circuit in front of them. Stellar Story by less than 2 lengths to Lecky Watson and Back Me or Sack Me, and then Better Days Ahead, who's in between Dancing City and High Class Hero. At the field trailing is Tote Exacta as they go uphill to the next flight. Stellar Story into it. Lands less than 2 lengths in front. Back Me or Sack Me was almost back on terms. Then Lecky Watson, Better Days Ahead. Dancing City has picked off his stable companion, High Class Hero, who's now one from last. And whipping them in is Tote Exacta. Uphill they go to the next. Stellar Story, Back Me or Sack Me, continuing 1 and 2, and then Lecky Watson, Better Days Ahead jumped closer. Then Dancing City, High Class Hero and Tote Exacta as they race downhill to the flight, bring them towards the point at which they started. Stellar Story with the edge from Back Me or Sack Me, third Lecky Watson, and fourth is Better Days Ahead, winner of the Martin Pipe. Racing together, Dancing City and High Class Hero. Still trading the field is Tote Exacta. Flight at the bottom of the track, Stellar Story. Landed the fractional leader from Back Me or Sack Me. A length off them in third is Lecky Watson. Fourth is Better Days Ahead. Racing together, stable companions, Dancing City and High Class Hero, with the back marker continuing to be Tote Exacta. At the completion of the circuit, heading to the first of 3 flights down the far side. Another 5 left to jump. Matching strides. Stellar Story and Back Me or Sack Me, a couple of lengths cleared of Better Days Ahead, who joins Lecky Watson for the third. And then Dancing City, High Class Hero and Tote Exacta, the flight which was their first. Directly across in the stands with just over a mile to go. Stellar Story, Back Me or Sack Me in the light blue colours. Better Days Ahead, Lecky Watson come next with Dancing City and High Class Hero. At the tail of the field is Tote Exacta. Continuing to the third and final flight in the back straight. Stellar Story, Back Me or Sack Me, still precious little between them. And Better Days Ahead on the inside, Lecky Watson and Dancing City. High Class Hero, and a reminder for Tote Exacta last over the field, who turn out of the back straight. It's just over 5 furlongs to go and 2 flights to jump. Good run of the second last. Stellar Story by Nectar, Backmere Sackme. Lecky Watson, Dancing City on the outside of Better Days Ahead. High Class Hero and Tote Exacta, but they're very tightly grouped. Less than 5 lengths covering them, heading for the second last. Stellar Story, Backmere Sackme. Arriving on the outside is Dancing City with Better Days Ahead. This quartet covered by less than 3 lengths. Then Lecky Watson, High Class Hero and Tote Exacta. Mistake there by Backmere Sackme and falls away. 3 furlongs to race and 1 flight left to jump. It's Stellar Story, challenged by stable companion Better Days Ahead. On the outside, nudged up to the pair is Dancing City, and then Lecky Watson in touch is High Class Hero, leaving behind the other pair, Backmere Sackme and Tote Exacta into the straight. They're heading for the final flight. Better Days Ahead from Dancing City in the centre. High Class Hero begins a run on the outside. Stellar Story on the rail trying to fight back. Then Lecky Watson, it's Dancing City who takes it up, approaching the final flight. Dancing City over from High Class Hero, a slight mistake, and then Better Days Ahead, Stellar Story and Lecky Watson. Dancing City, High Class Hero is not going away on the outside. Dancing City is keeping on strongly from High Class Hero. Dancing City a half too good for High Class Hero. Back in third was in the red cap Better Days Ahead, and then Stellar Story and Lecky Watson as Dancing City narrows the gap to 5 for Paul Townend.
And what a tough cook he is as well, Dancing City, shrugging aside that hard race he had when winning the Grade 1 at Aintree and scoring here the 7-4 favourite in the Donnelly colours. It was a tactical affair. Stellar Story made the running. Backmere Sackme kept in company. He made a mistake there. Lecky Watson was still in the mix, but he pulled far too hard for the first 10 furlongs or so of the race, and unsurprisingly couldn't find much late on. And High Class Hero, Don, was the one who has proved a bit of a revelation today. Pulled up at Cheltenham, but right back on track here and got pretty close in the end.
He did. He's won 4 of his 5 hurdle races. Gary, his only defeat was in that Cheltenham race in the Albert Bartlett hurdling when he was pulled up, and he arrived up here on the outside. It does look like Paul Townend is holding on to a little bit more than Sean O'Keefe is holding on to, but it was a good old scrap between the two of them. They come down to the last, and neither of them jump it very well. Dancing City seemed to jump it well, but then just kind of didn't get away from the flight quickly. High Class Hero on the near side just got a wee bit high, and Dancing City's just always holding High Class Hero. But High Class Hero, in fairness to him, he's run a massive race in defeat, and he's close to about a half a length by the time they get to the line, and a few strides past the line he's up. But as you say, tough performance by Dancing City. I was thinking that a hard race in the Albert Bartlett, a hard race in the Sefton Hurdle, and coming on to Punchestown, all 3 races over 3 miles, he would be vulnerable, but not a bit of it. He's got another win on the board, and the gap now between Jack Kennedy and Paul Townend is down to 5.
That's right, and who knows, it might be about